Have you ever wondered if the blood of a world-conquering emperor still flows through your own veins? Across the vast expanse of time, history isn't just a collection of dusty dates, but a living map written in our very DNA. A map where one man's shadow reaches from the desolate Mongolian plains to millions of modern lives in a way science is only beginning to understand. If you find yourself captivated by these hidden threads of our past, perhaps you'll join us on this journey by hitting that like button and subscribing to become a part of our own growing story. Now, let the dust of the centuries settle as we go back to where the first spark was struck. Our story began 3 billion years ago as tiny atoms in the world's petri dish, but the human heartbeat only truly started to echo 6 million years ago with the first hominids. By 1.9 million years ago, Homo erectus took the fateful first step out of Africa, but it was our own species, Homo sapiens, that would eventually claim the Earth. Yet, the rise to dominance came with a heavy price. Around 4000 BCE, in the fertile embrace of Mesopotamia, the city of Uruk birthed agriculture. We traded the freedom of the hunt for the rhythm of the harvest. We stopped being super athletes of the wild and became smaller, landlocked farmers, our bodies literally shrinking as we chained ourselves to the wheat. As we settled, we sought order through power. In ancient Egypt, the pharaohs obsessed over the eternal spirit, building pyramids not just as tombs, but as machines for immortality, believing their spirits would rule in perpetuity. Meanwhile, in Babylon, King Hammurabi etched the first scars of justice into stone. His 282 laws offered no illusion of equality. A noble's bone was worth more than a slave's, creating a social pyramid that would define human hierarchy for millennia. Across the world, the Shah and Zhou dynasties in China introduced the mandate of heaven, the idea that power is a gift from the heavens, but one that could be lost if a ruler lacked virtue. In the Mediterranean, the cradle of the West was forged in fire and thought. Sparta was a brutal military powerhouse, where boys were forged into weapons, while Athens experimented with a chaotic, beautiful mess called democracy. It was here that Plato dreamt of the philosopher king, a navigator of wisdom, warning that without such a leader, the ship of state would surely founder. That navigator arrived in the form of Alexander the Great, a student of Aristotle, who didn't just conquer lands, but sowed the seeds of Greek ideals from the Mediterranean to the edge of India. But no empire could match the sheer, iron-willed discipline of Rome. From Julius Caesar's treasonous gamble at the Rubicon to Augustus becoming the first emperor, Rome transformed the world into a single, interconnected machine. It was within this machine, in a humble stable in Bethlehem, that a child was born whose story would eventually conquer the empire that sought to execute him. Christianity's rise from a small Jewish sect to a global religion changed the very fabric of human belief, even as Rome itself began to crumble under the weight of its own success and the terrifying arrival of Attila the Hun, the scourge of God. As the Western Roman Empire fell, a new light emerged from the sands of Mecca. The Prophet Muhammad united the Arabian Peninsula under Islam, sparking an expansion that would eventually stretch from Lisbon to the borders of China. While Europe languished in what many call the Dark Ages, the House of Wisdom in Baghdad became the world's intellectual heart, preserving the science of the past and inventing the mathematics of the future. Yet, progress was often interrupted by the dragon ships of the Vikings, who pillaged the coasts of Europe before eventually settling and forming the foundations of nations like Russia and England. Then, the world felt the true weight of the Mongol storm. Genghis Khan, a man who rose from abandonment to unite 1 million souls, created the largest contiguous empire in history. His campaigns were barbaric, yet his genetic legacy is staggering. Today, roughly 8% of men in South Asia are his direct descendants. As the Mongol shadow faded, the Renaissance ignited in Europe. Through the brushes of Da Vinci and the chisels of Michelangelo, humanity rediscovered its own beauty. While Machiavelli's The Prince reminded us that in the game of power, it is safer to be feared than loved. The world then fractured again. Martin Luther's 95 Theses shattered the Catholic Church's monopoly on God, leading to centuries of religious war. Simultaneously, the discovery of the New World by Columbus brought the collapse of the Aztec and Incan empires. Not just through Spanish steel, but through invisible biohazards that decimated native populations. In the East, the Ottoman Empire reached its zenith under Suleiman the Magnificent, dominating the Mediterranean and challenging the power of Europe. We eventually marched into an age of fire and steel. The American and French revolutions challenged the divine right of kings, replacing crowns with constitutions. We moved from the hand mill of Uruk to the steam engines of the Industrial Revolution. But our capacity for creation was matched by our hunger for destruction. 2 world wars tore the 20th century apart, leading to the invention of the computer by Alan Turing and the terrifying dawn of the nuclear age. Yet, even in our darkest hours, we reached for the impossible. In 1969, we left our first footprints on the moon, a giant leap for a species that started as atoms in a petri dish. We are a species that builds empires only to watch them fall, a people who clamor for safety while dreaming of conquest. Like Gilgamesh on his ancient quest, we have searched for immortality for thousands of years, only to find that our true legacy lies in the stories we leave behind and the blood that carries our history forward. If we have spent 10,000 years trying to master the world, have we ever truly learned how to master ourselves? If you watched the video all the way to this point, share your thoughts in the comments. If it were up to you, how would you summarize human history in a single sentence?